if I wanted to come in and I didn't know you and I wanted to invest with you, how would I underwrite you, or what are the questions that I should be asking you as a passive investor to know if what you're doing is the right place for my money?
Good question.
What would that be? How I underwrite you? Is that what you would say?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I haven't really been on that side of it too often. Let's see. So what kind of questions should you be asking me? I mean, first of all, you should know the kinds of deals that I'm doing. Okay, what kinds of properties are we looking for? What kind of constraints do we put around what we do? So more or less, you want to know what you're investing in, right? So kind of. I guess if I'm the one making the investment, if I'm on the investor side, I'm looking at, I want to look through and see actually, what properties, have you bought so far? What do they look like? Why did you make those decisions? What was the process you used to get there? What was the thesis? How did it go? Not every deal is going to go to plan, right? So sometimes it'll go better, sometimes it'll go worse, but pretty much the one thing that's guaranteed is it's not going to go to plan. So you want to know, what was the thesis? How did it end up working out? Where were you right? Where were you wrong? What did you do about it? How did the deal end up working out? I'd want to know about your failures. So the projects in the past that didn't go well, and any manager who tells you, if there hasn't been any, they're either lying or they just haven't been around long enough. Deals don't always go to plan, right? So when it went bad, what did you do? How did you work it out? How did your investors fare? What else? On the projects that we're looking at right now, I'd want to see your underwriting models and have an understanding of what are the expectations for the property, and test, is that realistic or not. So if you're talking to a manager again who's saying 4% cap rates are here to stay, well, I'm going to underwrite it to 5.5, 6.5, see what that looks like.
So you made a point of wanting to see experience or past projects. Mm-hmm. What about for someone would you invest with somebody who doesn't have a big track record yet? And if so, what do you ask them? How do you come to a conclusion of believing that they're going to be good as an operator?
We're really relying on our experience in the asset class. So, for example, if we're talking self-storage, we've got some fairly deep experience there. And so when an operator comes to us with an idea, we have the ability to look at that and develop an opinion on our own. We're not really relying on their experience. We can kind of direct that to some degree if they don't have that experience. So there, really what we're buying is the opportunity. And an emerging manager, in a lot of cases, they've got local knowledge, they're finding deals. There's a whole lot more of them than there are of us, and so they can find deals that we're not necessarily going to see. But when they bring them to us, we can underwrite them and go, yeah, that's a good deal, that's something we would be glad to be in, or no, it's not. So it's real important, though, when you're working with a manager that doesn't have that deep experience, that you do. And so that's something that we bring to the table on those projects that we get involved with.